Good morning. Breaking news. 6 more weeks of winter. We'll break down Punxsutawney Phil's prediction coming up. Plus, we'll have your weather forecast.
New alerts. The National Weather Service adds new winter weather alerts. Coming up, we'll break down the science behind snow squalls.
And kickoff, we're talking Super Bowl 52. That's coming up in trending.
Get the coffee ready and open up those eyes. You're waking up with Cardinal weather.
From Ball State Unified Media, you're waking up with Cardinal weather with Nathan, Tanner, Emerson, Katie, and Ballant live from the Ball State Weather Center.
And good morning. You're looking live at the Scramble Light on Ball State University's campus. Current temperatures outside 13 degrees. Sunny conditions. Meanwhile, back here inside the Ball State Weather Center, I'm Tanner Holbrook.
And I'm Emerson Lehman, joined by Ballant Salavari. Good morning, gentlemen.
Yeah, it's pretty cold outside.
To say the least.
Yeah.
Not liking it. Not liking it at all.
But despite the cold temperatures outside, we have got a great show for you this morning.
That's right, Tanner. Take a look. You're looking live at the rock wall inside the Ball State Rec Center. Our friends Sarah Lehman and Andrew Smith will be there live in just a few minutes.
But we do want to begin with that breaking news. At 7:21 a.m., Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow, which means 6 more weeks of winter. We want to get right to Ballant, who's at the weather wall with the latest weather forecast and what the groundhog's prediction means for East Central Indiana. Good morning, Ballant.
Hey, good morning, Tanner. And it definitely does feel like winter outside, and quite the dismal graphic to start the day off with. However, nearly 30 degrees colder than compared to this time yesterday throughout the entire state of Indiana. So here out the door in Muncie, 10 degrees as you head on out. West-northwest winds at 7 miles per hour. So definitely get that heavy winter coat, scarves, mittens, anything you need to stay warm this morning because it is frigid outside. 11 degrees in Shelbyville, not even breaking the 10-degree marker in Indianapolis with the current temperature of 8 degrees. And when we factor in those wind chills, even colder. It feels like -5 degrees outside in Indianapolis and -6 up northwest in Lafayette. So for the morning commute, we're going to give it a yellow light just because it is so cold outside. By the 10 o'clock hour, 15 degrees out the door. But we will see plenty of sunshine throughout the entire day. So as the day progresses, we'll work our way to 20 degrees by 1 p.m. Winds start to stay relatively steady, but they do pick up a little bit throughout the day. West-northwest at 11 miles per hour by 4 p.m. with a current temperature of 23 degrees. And then throughout the day, despite it being in the mid-20s, we're going to see temperatures feel much colder with that wind chill. It's only going to feel like the up or right below 10 degrees through much of the region by 4 p.m. That's the time we can expect our daily high. So despite it being in the mid-20s, it's going to feel much colder. Then for tonight, 18 degrees for the low, southwest winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. We'll see clouds move in and then snow returns to the forecast starting tomorrow. So let's go ahead and break that down here through the overnight hours. You can see the snow is going to start to work its way in late into Saturday. This is by 10:30 p.m. So some widespread snow showers start to work in through parts of northern Indiana. Those are going to quickly drop down. By Sunday early morning hours, we'll see some snow flurries work its way into Delaware County, Blackford, Jay, Grant counties. All of our surrounding view area will see some snowfall work through. Then the remainder of the day, we're going to see the snow come through in bands. So by 3 p.m. here, you can see widespread snow showers throughout the entire state of Indiana. So of course, Sunday is the Super Bowl, the big game. Take the necessary precautions. Give yourself plenty of time to travel if you are going anywhere beforehand and afterwards. Because again, by 3 p.m., widespread snow showers all along the I-69 corridor up through Fort Wayne. Slick conditions are going to be possible. We could see anywhere from 1 inch to 2 inches of snow accumulation throughout the entire state. So again, take the necessary precautions. We'll see those snow showers start to work their way on out. Clearing conditions set on in by midnight Monday morning. And then for the 7-day forecast, temperatures are going to stay relatively consistent after the weekend. Here's those snow showers. Stronger chance for snow showers on Sunday, high of 34. Clearing conditions start to set in on Monday with a high of 27. However, next snow system is going to work its way in midweek next week into Tuesday and Wednesday. Still a little bit too far out in terms of tracking that exact timing on that system. However, it's not looking to be pretty nice, so we'll definitely keep an eye on that. And then temperatures in the mid-20s all the way through next Friday. So pretty cool conditions outside.
All right, Ballant, thank you. We'll check in with you again later. It could take weeks, if not months, to fix problems caused by an ice jam last week in Wayne County, Pennsylvania. Flooding in an ice jam caused part of Route 170 to collapse. With the sun shining down Monday, the ice was melting, but the damage was already done. A significant part of the road collapsed after the nearby Lackawaxen River spilled its banks last week, causing water and ice to go everywhere.
Obviously, there's an issue here. We want to correct it the right way.
PennDOT engineers believe the collapse happened last Thursday. Crews say they are working on a short-term solution to get Route 170 repaired and reopened as quickly as possible. They'll work with the U.S. Corps of Army Engineers to find a long-term solution.
And it's a financial lifeline for Puerto Rico that was hit more than 4 months ago by Hurricanes Irma and Maria. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development says it's awarding the island $1.5 billion to help it recover from the hurricanes. The money will be used as grants to support long-term recovery of serious damaged homes and businesses in Puerto Rico. Housing Secretary Ben Carson says HUD will also cut red tape to speed up Puerto Rico's recovery. Carson says that will be done through reducing regulatory barriers and other roadblocks. Officials said earlier this week that nearly 500,000 customers remain without power in Puerto Rico.
And if you looked in the sky Wednesday night, you may have seen something unique. There was a super blue blood moon in the sky. This full moon is unique in 3 ways. First off, it's the third in a series of supermoons when the moon gets closer to the Earth. It's the second full moon of the month and commonly known as a blue moon. And it's also about 14% brighter than it is on a regular day.
And turning now to a recent interview with Piers Morgan, who pointed out President Trump's misconception of climate change. Trump went on to suggest that global temperatures are cooling instead of warming, and ice caps were growing. The American Meteorological Society's executive director, Keith Sider, reached out in a recent letter urging President Trump to utilize information and observations from NOAA and NASA. Dr. Sider states the society stands ready to provide assistance and in connecting executive branch staff with knowledge and expertise to ensure that staff are working with credible scientific information.
All right, and coming up, a new travel exhibit is opening in Muncie. We'll have the details.
That's right, and record-breaking winds. We'll let you know where. That's after your weather now. .08 now on a Friday morning, 13 degrees outside with mostly sunny conditions. You're looking at the scramble light. Meanwhile, back inside the Ball State Weather Center, we're talking about this. When Hurricane Irma hit land last September, it brought more than just destruction. Reporting at 199 miles per hour was recorded by a weather station in St. Bartholomew. While unofficially, the wind gusts would rank among one of the fastest ever observed on land. The gust was recorded on September 6 when Irma was still a Category 5 hurricane, bringing winds upward of 185 miles an hour.
And a 24-year-old museum in Muncie, is hosting its first ever traveling exhibit. Cardinal Weather's Michelle Kaufman got a preview of it and found out about a national connection within the panels.
National Model Aviation Museum has been busy preparing to open the Black Wings exhibit to the public tomorrow. Director Michael Smith and his staff have been laying the foundation and printing the exhibit in-house using information and photos from the Smithsonian.
Kind of through the panels highlights African American aviators beginning with the early days of flight up through some of the astronauts, much more current.
The exhibit will run during the month of February, the same time as Black History Month. Smith said the museum is a niche market with their subject matter and was looking for more ways to bring more people in the community to visit.
They're very inspirational. They're profound in terms of what was able to be achieved by these fantastic people through the decades.
Smith hopes people who visit the exhibit are inspired.
When you look at what these people were able to achieve, their accomplishments, I think it's really just amazing. Some of the pictures, some of the quotes that are there, I think if you're reading through and you see some of those different things, I think that in some cases it really will challenge you to kind of do better things, try to achieve things, try to set goals.
Now, the exhibit opened today, and the museum will be open for free on February 10th for visitors and will feature guest speakers talking about their experiences in aviation. The museum is located at 5151 East Memorial Drive in Muncie.
Some information you might need to know. The National Weather Service has released a new type of weather warning alert, including snow squalls into their issues, and this is intended to alert drivers of low visibility for short, heavy bursts of snow. Snow squalls contribute to numerous highway pileups, creating hazardous roadways. The National Weather Service expresses the need for these alerts, stating annual highway fatalities from these events can exceed fatalities due to tornadoes in many years. The alert has already been put into effect for 8 National Weather Service offices, and Ballin is standing by at the weatherboard, or whiteboard, excuse me, breaking down that science. Ballin, what exactly does this mean?
Weather wall to break down those snowfall warnings. So the National Weather Service has introduced these earlier this year, and the conditions leading up to the issuing of a snow squall warning include visibility less than a quarter of a mile, sub-freezing road temperatures allowing for the quick buildup of snow, and dangerous and potentially life-threatening travel conditions. Now, these have already been implemented into 5 locations across the nation, including Detroit, Pittsburgh, State College, Pennsylvania, Burlington, Vermont, and Binghamton, New York, and then Cheyenne and Buffalo, New York are on that list to soon, if not have already been added. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at this graphic here drawn by weather producer Liz Sevchek. So this will help explain how these snow squall warnings form. So here we can see warm lake water, and that's gonna allow cold air to move over it. And this warm air or warm lake water quickly evaporates up, and that's gonna be carried to the east usually by that cold air. And when we see this warm air being risen, that's going to allow for more moisture to evaporate, and that's going to quickly carry on further east towards the land surface, allowing for more snowfall to accumulate over the land. And then usually with those snow squalls, those are short-lived, heavy downpours of snow. So that allows for a lot of snow to accumulate very quickly. That's why a lot of times when we see snow squalls, that's what's that link to areas where we see heavy traffic accidents, as you know, usually we see 1 to 2 heavy traffic pileups throughout the year, seeing incidents of 50 car pileups. So again, that warm lake water compared to the colder land surfaces allows for that warm water to rise, evaporate, and then dump down a lot of snow very rapidly. That's all from me here at the Cardinal Weather Wall. I'm going to toss it back to Emerson and Tanner in the studio.
Hey, thanks, Ballin and Tanner. I'm really loving these science lessons.
I know, breaking down the science, it's pretty cool. It's stuff you never really knew about.
Exactly, the weather team's doing a fantastic job with that, so
Yep.
thank you guys for the hard work. Well, coming up, find out what some Applebee's enthusiasts are excited about.
And I know I'm pretty excited about what you're talking about, but we're also pretty excited about a preview of this Sunday's Super Bowl halftime performance. That's after your weather now.
With Cardinal Weather.
8:14 on your Friday morning. Welcome back. You're waking up with Cardinal Weather. You're looking at Schaefer Tower at Ball State University's campus. Current conditions 13 degrees, mostly sunny skies. Meanwhile, back inside the Ball State Weather Center, it's time to take a look at what is trending now.
Absolutely, let's get started.
Yeah, all right, guys. So Super Bowl 52 is this Sunday. The New England Patriots will take on the Philadelphia Eagles in Minneapolis's US Bank Stadium. During halftime, Justin Timberlake is set to perform, and the Grammy Award winning artist told media Thursday that they are doing things that they have never done before during the show. And he also says that he has some ideas of special appearances, but that does not include an NSYNC reunion. Timberlake also had these words for Patriots head coach Bill Belichick. Take a listen.
I've been running routes too. I just want to throw this out there to Belichick. If all of your receivers go down, I'll be ready to go. So shoot me a text.
Also, there's a poll on our Twitter account. Let us know who you will think that will win Super Bowl 52.
You know, Justin Timberlake, I could see him being a pretty solid athlete.
He just released his album too last night, and it's pretty good.
You were up listening to it pretty late.
Yeah, I was.
It's
a good one.
Any predictions for the Super Bowl?
I'm calling it 24-20 Eagles. I'm tired of seeing Tom Brady lose. And, being from Indiana, it's kind of a given. You have to hate the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm pulling for the Eagles as well. I want Carson Wentz to get a ring, even though he can't play. It'd be cool to see him win the Super Bowl.
No prediction here. I'm just going for the food and the halftime show.
All right. Well, speaking of food and drinks, if you love Applebee's and you're in the mood for a fruity drink, you're going to love this $1 Bahama Mamas. The restaurant chain will be offering this deal for the month of February. And I know I sounded really excited as I read that, guys, but I've never had a Bahama Mama.
Neither have I, but if it's anything like their $1 Long Island teas or, $1 margaritas, it's probably going to be good.
It's for $1.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with it.
Yeah.
All right, well, coming up, weather history. Heavy icing and freezing rain on this day in 1960 caused severe damage to telephone service and power lines near Watertown and Wessington Springs, South Dakota. A 300-foot tower collapsed because of the weight the ice brought to the power lines, causing many towns in the area to live without the luxury of telephones for 3 days following the storm. And hopefully no freezing rain in the forecast for Indiana this weekend.
No, we're not going to have freezing rain in the forecast. However, we will see some snow return for the weekend. We'll break that down here in just a minute. You can see a few cars working their way through and some streaks of sunshine working its way through the scramble light right now. So as you head on out to class, 10 degrees out the door with northwest winds. Now this is showing some snow flurries in the region. That's not true. We're just seeing plenty of sunshine all throughout the state. And take a look at this. Within the past 24 hours, nearly 30 degrees colder throughout the entire state. And as the day continues, we're going to see temperatures work up to the lower 20s by the 5 o'clock hour. Plenty of sunshine, though, so hopefully we'll have some adequate hours of daytime heating to help drive that temperature up. Winds will remain relatively stable, ranging between 10 to 15 miles per hour. Forecasted highs 25 in Shelbyville and Indianapolis, 21 degrees in Lafayette, and 27, the warm spot in the state of Indiana today at 27 degrees. When we do factor in wind chill, though, take a look. By 5 p.m., this is about the time when we'll see our daily high ranging between the time of 4 and 5 p.m. That feels like temperatures are only going to be 7 degrees here in Muncie. So a very, very chilly Friday in store. And for the overnight hours, we're going to see temperatures drop all the way down to 18 degrees. Those clouds are going to work their way in, and winds start to shift to the southwest, ranging between 5 and 10 miles per hour. For tomorrow, we will reach a high of 38 degrees. Southerly winds, those are off. Those should be 10 to 15 miles per hour from the south-southwest. And we'll see the snow showers work their way in late into the overnight. So let's go ahead and break that down through precision catch. You can see overcast skies all throughout the day. Then by 6 p.m., the snow starts to work in towards the Indiana-Michigan border. Those are going to continue to drop further southwest as the system starts to work its way up from the Pacific Northwest. Sunday by 1 a.m., snow showers start to work their way into north-central Indiana. Maybe a flurry or two possible here in Muncie early in the morning. And those are going to continue on down. Those are going to come in waves throughout all of Sunday. So if you have any Super Bowl plans, definitely take the necessary precautions, and we'll see clearing conditions start to set in behind that. Then for the 7-day forecast, one clear day on Monday with a high of 27 degrees. Then our next system that we're keeping a major eye on, there could be some ice, and it's going to be a mess midweek between Tuesday and Wednesday. So hopefully we'll be able to pinpoint that forecast down here within the next few days.
All right, Ballant, thank you. Coming up, it's a policy creating some roadblocks for Ball State students and faculty. We'll tell you the policy that's raising a lot of questions.
Plus, we're live at the Ball State Rec Center. That's after our weather now.
8:20 on a Friday morning, you're waking up with Cardinal weather. Ball State's slogan is "We Fly," but Ball State's policy on unmanned aircraft systems, or drones, makes it difficult for those who want to fly on campus. There are also questions circling the policy on whether it might break federal regulation. From Bethel Avenue, it looks like a typical Dairy Queen, but travel around to the back of the building and you'll see charred fences, burnt walls, and the remnants of what was once a walk-in cooler.
Haven't experienced anything like that before.
The fire broke out on Labor Day. The owner was out of town at a golf outing. It all started when a faulty circuit breaker caught fire in the northwest corner of the building. That's when owner Matt Anderson got the call.
My wife called.
All right, obviously that's not the drone policy story. You can find that story on ballstatedaily.com.
Well, our friends are over at the Ball State Rec Center, Andrew Smith and Sarah Lehman. They're getting some rock climbing in this
That's
morning.
right.
So let's send it over to them.
Hey, good morning, Tanner and Emerson. Yeah, we're here at the rock wall in the rec center right here on Ball State's campus. You know, if you're looking to have some adventure with some friends or even try something new, you can come on down here and try this out.
Yeah, and we're joined at the rock wall today by Pat Langendorfer, who is the Director of Outdoor Pursuits.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. Hey, Pat.
Good morning, how are you?
Great, thanks for coming over.
Thanks for having us.
Sure.
So tell us just about the rock wall.
Sure, so the climbing wall was built in 2010 along with the rest of the Student Recreation and Wellness Center. So we've been open for about 8 years now. And it's available for students, faculty, staff, alumni, and their guests 7 days a week.
Awesome. And how much does it cost if someone isn't a student? Is it open to the public?
If you're a guest of a member or an affiliate on campus, you can come in for $8 a day to the entire facility, and that includes the climbing wall. But otherwise, it's just available to the Ball State community.
All right, so I know we have one of your workers climbing
Yeah,
right behind
absolutely.
us right now. So can all the workers climb? Are they all like certified?
Sure, so anybody who wants to come in, especially if you're a first-time climber or whether it's your first visit or your 100th visit, the staff's available to help you out with belaying you, which is what Brian's doing over here, supporting her with a rope, or just giving you coaching on kind of movement and technique, or helping you out get it set up with gear, so shoes and harnesses and that kind of stuff.
And I know earlier before we got on camera, we were talking about how there's different routes, and you change those routes. So
Yeah, definitely. So that's one of the biggest things I think that's a draw for people that maybe they don't know in advance, is that rock climbing looks really difficult, and it can be, but also it's available for everybody of different ability levels. So if it's your first time coming in, it doesn't matter if you've never climbed before, you can get on something and enjoy yourself and not feel like you're being pushed to the max already.
All right, and what does someone have to do if they want to come to the rock wall? Maybe it's their first time.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. So if you're a student on campus and you want to come to the rock wall, make sure to bring your ID just like you always would to the rec center. But you'll basically come in and check in at the desk with our staff. They'll make sure to get a waiver signed on file for you. And then we get you some equipment and walk you through an orientation just about safe climbing and understanding the rules and the regulations of the climbing wall. And then basically from that point on, the staff will coach you through your first couple climbs. And then hopefully you get a chance to meet some other folks and get a chance to climb with some new friends.
All right, and I know that you said that you guys were open 7 days a
Yeah,
week. Is there
absolutely.
specific hours that you can come in, or is it whenever the rec is open?
Yeah, definitely. So the climbing wall is open Sunday through Thursday, 2 to 10 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 2 to 7 p.m., and then Monday through Friday, we have lunch bouldering hours that we have from 11 to 1. So if you're in the middle of your day, or if you're working on campus and you want to take a break and come over and climb for a little while, you can do that as well.
if you guys heard that, they're not open until 2 p.m. today, which luckily they let us come in here and do this live shot to show you guys how cool this place is. So, you know, can you bring like guests? If I know that a lot of like Ball State students like to have their friends come.
Absolutely, yeah. So if you have a friend coming from off campus, like I said, it's really easy to set up a guest pass with the facility, and that gets you access to the entire facility, not just the climbing wall. But also whether it's your first time coming over by yourself, that's okay. Everyone's very welcoming here. They want to make sure everybody else has a good time climbing as well.
So what about you? Can you climb this?
I can. I don't get in here as often as I'd like to, but definitely it's one of my favorite hobbies.
Have you climbed any other rock walls? Have you climbed actual?
Sure, yeah.
Faces
So
of
one of the
mountains.
things about outdoor pursuits, we manage the climbing wall. We do outdoor climbing trips at least twice a semester. So if anyone's interested in going outside and trying to push themselves a little bit in a different environment, we always offer that stuff as well.
All right. Awesome. Well, I know that you had mentioned that people can like bring guests and stuff.
Sure.
Do you guys do any special programs or special events at the Rock
Yeah,
Wall?
definitely. So we offer birthday parties for kids as well as private rentals for university groups. So whether it's Greek life or an academic department or a residential floor or just a group of students who want to get together and have a private time at the climbing wall, that's always available. And all they need to do is check out the website and contact me directly about that.
All right.
All right. Well, again, that was Pat Longendorfer here with us. Thank you so much for
thank you for
joining
coming in.
us. If you really want to check out the Rock Wall, you can go to the Rec Center website or call in and see. Again, bring your student ID. You can bring guests. But for now, we're live here at the Rec Center on Ball State's campus. I'm Sarah Lehman.
I'm Andrew Smith. Back to you, Tanner and Emerson.
Andrew and Sarah, looks pretty fun. Thanks, guys. Looking down at a cell phone, laptop, or textbook is something we do daily, but it could be the reason for some common health complaints. Nathan Brown, an instructor and advisor in Ball State's Exercise Science Department, explains how this can be the cause for these problems.
The head's basically the size of a bowling ball, so if you think about the weight that's being projected forward, it puts a lot of strain and stress on the back of the neck. So we might see an increase in things like tension headaches or migraines or things like that from the head being pulled forward. And then we also see changes in the respiratory activity. So it can be harder to breathe because we're shortening the rib cage and things like that.
And a chilly national weather outlook all throughout the nation. Temperatures in the lower teens, 20s, all the way down to -7 up in Minneapolis. So Super Bowl preparations, definitely chilly. 23 in Denver, 8 degrees in Kansas City, 34 in Dallas-Fort Worth, and then the East Coast, 29 degrees in Northwest. Temperatures aren't going to jump all that much throughout much of the Great Plains. 23 degrees the forecast high for Cincinnati today, 33 in Kansas City, Dallas-Fort Worth 50 degrees, and then Los Angeles and Las Vegas will both peak at 70 degrees. So definitely going to feel a lot nicer out there than compared to what we're experiencing here today, that's for sure. A few winter weather advisories off in the Pacific Northwest towards Billings, Montana, along with some heavier snowfalls there. That's what that light blue is indicating. Some wind chill advisories up towards Minneapolis. However, throughout the eastern portions of the United States, relatively clear apart from some more winter weather outlooks right now in parts of West Virginia and Virginia. And for the national radar, you can see this is that system that we're tracking that's going to work its way through parts of Indiana throughout the week, and you can see snowfall will work its way through much of the northern Great Plains by Saturday at 9:30 a.m. That's going to continue to work its way farther southeast as the afternoon or the weekend progresses. By Sunday at 8 a.m., they should work their way through for the most part, and as you saw earlier, those snow showers are going to be in effect all through Sunday, so take the necessary precautions for Super Bowl, and that is all for the national weather, and we'll have one more look at weather coming up.
All right, Ballant, thank you. Whales that can talk. We will have more on this, and we will be back right after your local now.
Welcome back to Waking Up with Cardinal Weather, 8:29 on this Friday morning. You have a live look at McKinley Avenue there. Beautiful morning here on Ball State's campus. Meanwhile, back inside the Ball State Weather Center, troubling news from the east. NOAA Fisheries is declaring the past year's death of minke whales along the east coast of the United States as, quote, unusual mortality event. A focused expert investigation is set to be conducted to see what may be the cause for the high mortality rate of the minke whales.
And on the subject of whales, here's something going on a lighter note. A team of international researchers have taught a female orca whale named Wiki to imitate human speech. And according to a paper published on the subject Wednesday, scientists say a whale can learn new vocalizations by imitating its trainer. Take a listen.
Hello. Hello. 1, 2. 1, 2.
That's pretty cool, guys, right?
I would love to talk to a whale.
I know.
I'm still a skeptic. I hate to say it, but I really am.
All right, Ballant, one last look at weather.
Well, I can tell you one thing that's for certain is that it's going to snow this upcoming weekend. Chances for snow will work its way in definitely on Sunday. Some overnight snow flurries will work in late Saturday into Sunday. Temperatures start to fall off on Monday with a high of 27 degrees. Our next big system that we're keeping an eye on works its way in Tuesday into Wednesday. Then temperatures consistent in the mid-teens all the way through next Friday.
All right, Ballant, thank you. That's all for Cardinal weather for this Friday morning.
In the meantime, be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a great rest of your Friday.